Go get him.
Oops. Hi, Isaac.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, nothing.
You got it. Got it set up here.
Your feedback. Hello.
I'm
no,
fine.
We're good. I don't know what's wrong. So yeah, we're back in our basements after being at Youngstown Studios on Tuesday, which was really, really, really nice.
It was nice. This little change, I liked it. It made me want better audio in video quality. You know,
man, is that freaking slick? It's like so slick, slick. Even though we know Joe was whining and dying us to get us to stream over there.
It was bribery.
He had fancy bubbly water,
fancy sparkling water to try and get us to go there every night, every Tuesday and Thursday. It's like, hey, just come on, guys, here,
have some bubbly water. All right, we're trying some new things. Below us is our sponsors. We got Frank Clinton, Menchies, and Menchies Boardman, and of course, Mayor Tim Sycophuse, who we are going to be moving in with July 1st, Isaac. Did you know that?
I'm excited. Moving into the new office.
We have an office July 1st right underneath them on Sheridan. I cannot wait to freaking torture him. He has no idea what he's doing. Why would he let us move in with him?
I wonder if we'll have like a shared kitchen because like I'm gonna eat his wife. His wife probably bags up a brown bag lunch for him, like and writes his name, like I love you, honey. And like he's gonna walk into his kitchen, the shared kitchen. I'm gonna be eating his sandwich.
I cannot wait. So and it's really, really nice. It's like super nice. So we're gonna do that, and we got some plans there. Oh, shirts. Let's talk. Gear. Hold on. Let me do my intro real fast. And tonight. If you're waiting, Eddie Muransky Jr. is coming on, so just hold tight. Here we go. Where are you? Everybody is Shots. Isaac's bachelor's party tomorrow night, by the way. That song gets me so ready for the bachelor party because we're going to be doing some shots. All right, tonight, our shirt of the MLO Bros, Wear Your Gear. It is, ready, Isaac, model it, Mosquito Victory. Mosquito Victory. We are winning the war against mosquitoes. It's basically a company that will go out to your house, business, whatever, and spray.
No, nothing on the back.
Nothing on the back. It's all about rivet. Weddings, graduations, outdoor events. If there's a resurgent, they'll come out and spray for free. So it's basically a way to kill mosquitoes, and he also does ticks, which is really bad this year.
And Joel was super excited. He was like amped that he was.
Oh, dude, so excited! This shirt is sweet.
And Joel, I will give you credit, sir. You did not go cheap on the shirts. It's good quality. It's like Hanes ultra soft shirts. So
good,
very nice.
His phone number is 330-550-1000. 9955. So if you have like a mosquitoes problem, they're coming because it's summer's here. Or ticks all over. They're in Poland. They're in Canfield.
Nikki
Yeah,
said,
Nikki,
this
amazing.
is Joel's wife, I'm assuming.
Yep,
Yes, he said, I made the shirts. Nikki, you did not go cheap on the shirts,
No,
darling.
this is
They
like
are
nice.
perfect. They're wonderful. Thank you so much.
So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the shirts. We will continue to wear these shirts.
Stephanie says, I love Joel.
Maggie said that his wife went to school with them together. I didn't know that.
You're going to take all the credit and say you put him in business? You're going to really do that?
Classic
Stephanie. Classic Stephanie.
So yeah, and he does give discounts for military, first responders, and that kind of stuff. So that's Joel. Thanks for the shirts. Stephanie, thanks for starting his business. Nikki.
Chris Persani says, live stream the bachelor party, but after Isaac shots deep, and they have taken effect. See, I don't want to embarrass myself too bad. So like maybe before we like go in, and then when I'm passed out, Luke can take a picture of me, like one embarrassing picture.
Okay, deal.
Or maybe we just go live when I'm hammered. We'll see.
Dude, I'm leaving it up to you. If you want to go live, I'll go live. It's not going to be. I'm not going to go live behind your back. Maybe
we go live, but like we do it like every shot, like 10 minutes after every shot. Like you have to take a video, and we just see like the death spiral of me going insane. Like just the death spiral.
Oh God. All right. We'll figure something out. You guys let us know what we want to do. Okay. Yes. There you go. Do you forget Mosquito Heaven over here? That's true. So she is there. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, if you're interested in doing the Wear Your Gear, we'll love to do it. We do give a free promo. Message Isaac or I or the MLO Bros on Facebook. It is a double XL for Isaac. I'm an extra large.
No, flip that around. I'm an XL. Luke's a double X. No,
double X, and I will cut the sleeves off. I promise. I don't like sleeves. So you can drop it off. The rules are you got to get us our sizes, and you have to drop them off somewhere like our office or our houses or whatever. Because I'm not driving to like Salem to get shirts. So, all right. So here we go. Let us bring on tonight. We have Eddie Muransky Jr. coming on. Hold on, let me switch this around because I'm trying new stuff here.
New technology, so
yeah, I'm trying new stuff. Wait, not the one with. Okay, so let's bring him on here. We got Eddie Muransky Jr.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Mr. Muransky.
Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate it, man. You impressed us. You did.
Thank you.
When you dropped Mike Mike dropped the school board with your presentation. I don't know when that was. That 2-3 weeks ago. I forget. It might have been
whatever the May meeting was. Yeah, I went over there.
And we'll talk. We'll get into talking about Poland a little bit. Because I know you're from Poland, and like I said, you went in there, and Isaac and I were like, man, this freaking guy. It was impressive. You did a great job.
You prepared.
And that's what kind of spurred us to have you on, and then we'll kind of go through it. Let's learn about you first, right, Isaac? We always learn about the guest first. Where are you from originally? Give us your story, my man.
Yeah, so from here in Poland originally, lived in Canfield a little bit also as a kid. My family moved around in my middle years to California and then on to Tampa, Florida, where I graduated high school from. And then right back here after I graduated, and then both my sisters graduated from Poland here while I went off to college.
Did you graduate from Poland or did you go to Moody?
No, my high school is Berkeley Prep in Tampa. I graduated there in 2002. Then my sister, we moved back here. They graduated 05 and 07 from Poland.
05 and 07. So that has to be close to my in-laws.
Yes,
I believe.
Yeah. Your brother-in-law, Matt, is a friend of mine and one of my cousin, Donnie Pepino's best friends.
Yeah, so, Donnie.
A lot of funny stories for years.
Yeah, Donnie. I know Donnie. Yeah, that's right. Because your cousins are Pepino.
My mom's maiden name is Pepino, so she grew up. She lived in Poland all her life.
That's right. And Candy is your cousin who is really good friends with my wife. That's.
So I know your wife going way back. Yeah, Candy.
I was going to say, I believe we've been at like parties together and stuff for their kids in the past. I was thinking that. And so look at this. Somebody loves you, Matt. I love Matt, or somebody loves Matt. Muransky talks. Who's that?
No, that's my sister. Yeah, she's checking in there.
There you go.
Cool.
So okay. So you graduate from college. Where'd you go to college?
University of Michigan, a very popular school around here. So went there for undergrad and for grad school, for law school. I practiced in Cleveland for a few years, then moved back to Poland in 2012. So lived here ever since.
So law school.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What was that like? Tell us about law school.
It's not as bad as it sounds. I went in thinking it'd be horrible. The first year is still pretty hard, but overall not too bad. Your whole grade's one exam.
Smart person
to be.
What's that?
I said your whole grade is one exam. So I
Yeah.
mean, that exam's stressful, but like really, other than the few weeks beforehand, it's not so bad.
Huh.
That you know what? If I graduated from law school, I think that's exactly how I would answer that question.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds like something a smart
so
person
easy.
would say. Oh, it's no big deal.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, that is it. Look, it's horrible for everyone, and he's just smart. See,
Yeah,
there you go.
If you're smart, it's not that bad. If you're two bugs like us, it's pretty hard.
Isaac, I always said I'd be a good lawyer, but I could never get through law school.
You would be an idiot in the courtroom.
I would be I'd be an ambulance chaser. I'd be like chasing after the guys in the air, like the guy on the what's the guy on the sign?
Misney?
Misney. I'd totally be Misney.
Yeah.
All right, so you graduate from law school. All right,
Yeah.
law school. You practice a little bit, and then what?
So moved back here to join my dad in 2012. Learned about his businesses there, and then we launched Rise Pise back in 2014. I helped head that up, and so we're up to we have 15 stores open now. And then just last year with COVID, obviously it was a bad time for the stores. They were shut down for a few months. So my dad needed help on the medical side over at Southwoods with the physician services group. So I'm still involved in Rise, but he moved me over there for more of the day-to-day work last June, and that's a position I'm in now.
Who came up with the meatball recipe for Rise Pies? Because
sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, that's Chef Vernon Sest, our chef from Vernon's Cafe in Niles and V Squared downtown. Him and his partner, Eddie Moses, were our partners on Rise. So all the recipes were Vernon originally.
Really?
Yeah, because we looked around at Blaze Pizza and some other ones, and we liked the format of it, the fast casual pizza, but we thought the pizza was just mediocre compared to our great pizza in Youngstown. So that's where we teamed up with Vernon to do all the recipes.
There you go.
The pizza, and people don't know that, V2 downtown, they had flatbread pizzas. It's like the same as that, right?
Yeah, same oven, everything. We did our training there way back in 2014 because our store wasn't ready. So, yeah, same oven and everything.
Because I remember I went to YSU and I was at Erie Terminal, and me and my friends would always go get flatbread pizzas on like Thursday nights or something. We had a real good deal at V2, and then they opened Rise, and I was like, this is like the same thing. Yeah, and it really is. With the meatballs. And then I found out that the owners were like, you guys opened it. It was Vernon's Meatballs. And I was like, okay, that's exciting. Have you tried their meatballs, Luke?
I've never had Rice Pies.
What? I never have. I'll send you some pizza cards. We got to get you over there.
Dude, oh yeah, I never have.
Luke, their meatballs, the Vernon's meatballs are like very, very close to grandma.
I've had Vernon's. I've had V2's meatballs downtown.
And with ricotta cheese and the hot peppers, they're good.
Yeah,
they're really good.
Oh yeah. All right, I gotta head over there then because I've never had. Now here's the thing: it's been there. I just drive by.
Yeah,
because
that's why we continue to try and push the marketing because we know, it's been there for 7 years and people have liked it, but we know there's still a lot of people around town that haven't. So we try and get the word out.
And that's the thing. So it's like homemade pizzas too.
Yeah,
and
that's fresh ingredient. We chop up vegetables right in the store, all that stuff. So we try and bring that, kind of fresh homemade pizza, but just in 3 minutes.
I'll tell you what I'll do, Eddie and Isaac. Maybe you're in on this. Maybe we could go into the store, and maybe we could make our own pizzas with them.
Absolutely,
we could do like a little video. Live. We'll go live from the store, and we'll make a pizza.
Yeah, name the time we could do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm so excited. I've been there so many. I can't believe you've never gone there before, Luke. I've gone there so many times. Me and Shelby love it. All the time.
Corey Deal asks, how many meatballs can you fit in here? I'll tell you what, Corey, maybe we can answer that question when we're at Rise Pies.
Vernon's meatballs are pretty big too. They're no joke.
Isaac, have you ever seen the size of my mouth and head?
It's a pretty big mouth, but still.
It's a lot of meatballs.
Don't sleep on the meatballs. Is all I have to say when they ask you for them. They're so good. So good.
So all right. So Rise Pies, and you guys, the Muranskys, you guys are into everything, right? I mean, there is stuff we don't even know. Like, so Rise Pies, I knew about.
Yes.
Your
and then,
sisters have a store somewhere?
yeah. So my sister, her store is Ivory and Birch on Market Street. She, right out of college, she studied business down at WashU in St. Louis, worked for Kohl's for a few years in Milwaukee and New York and did a great job for them. But her dream was always to have her own store. So and also in 2014, I think like a month after Rise opened, she launched Ivory and Birch and just does a great job with, all the clothing and gifts and all that stuff. And then my youngest sister, Danielle, she's actually a TV writer out in LA. So
that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
What does she write for?
So she was on, she interned on a bunch of shows, really worked her way up, like The Daily Show, Saturday Night Live, a bunch of shows like that. And then finally, she got a staff writing job on the show, The Goldbergs, on ABC.
Really?
And their spin-off school. Yeah. So she wrote for them for a few years. And then now she recently did some work on a new Muppet show coming for Disney Plus.
Listen, Eddie, you're really cool and all, but can you get your sister on?
I was going to say, yeah, I think she should do that. She's hilarious too. So yeah.
You're really cool and all. Can you get your sister on? Wow, that's crazy, dude. We could, in all reality, we could do the entire Muransky family. Like we could go through
obviously they're all really smart. I mean,
you have the sisters. Big Ed. I've met him one time, and let me tell you what, Eddie, I'm a pretty big dude, and I know you got to hear this all the time. I am a big guy, and my hands are freaking huge. If you've ever, we were at a wedding or something sometime, and he was there, and he comes up and he's like, introduces himself, shakes my hand. Isaac, I kid you not, my giant paws disappeared in his dad's hand. Like, disappeared. Like, I'm like, what the hell? This guy is humongous.
Yeah. So you guys, the Southwoods Executive Center that you guys recently bought.
Yes.
Over there. You guys recently bought that building, and I used to work in that building when I was in trucking a year and a half ago before you bought it. I was in one of the offices, I think do you know Freddie Fedor? Freddie?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, so he works for you guys. He's over there now, and I forget who his boss is. I forget the name, but they work in that the bottom of that building where my old office was. And me and my boss, we walked out in the hallway, and your dad was out in the hallway walking past us, and my boss knew him. Friends from high school or something, says hi to him. And then we walk back in our office and my boss is like, do you know who that was? And I was like, no, he was just really tall guy. Oh, that was Ed. That was Big Ed Muransky. And he is definitely scoping out this building to buy it, whatever anybody says. And your dad was like, no, we're just looking around, checking it out. And my boss is like, yeah, he's definitely going to buy that. We're going to have to pack our stuff up.
Yeah. That building holds a very special place in my family's heart because when my dad retired from football, he joined my late grandfather, Don Pepino's insurance agency back in the 80s. And that's where their offices were on the first floor of that building. So he worked there for a long time. And then his own offices for our company were in there for a while before we moved next door. So, when opportunity came available, he was really excited because we're going to move all of our business office for Southwoods and Rise Pise and Annie Ann's and all that into the building under one roof. And my brother-in-law, Josh Thompson, DeLorean's husband, he's heading up the construction side of it. And it's really exciting. They're restoring it kind of back to its mid-century modern glory, because there was originally the Youngstown Sheet and Tube building built way back in the 50s. Yep. We're trying to kind of bring it back to that era, headed up by Josh and Joe Mineo over at Joe Mineo Creative, a kind of a passion project for them.
Awesome. It's a beautiful building too.
Yeah, it really is, marble and all that.
Yeah. Or when I was there, it was still a beautiful building. You could tell it had potential, and I'm sure you guys would take care of it.
When I went in there to visit you, Isaac, I was like, you could tell back in the day, this was like the place. You know what I mean? You could just totally tell.
When Coca's owned it, it was weird. Like we were on the very base bottom floor, and it was like okay, and then the middle floor was a little bit nicer. You could tell the flooring was a little bit nicer, and then where he had his suites up top,
Coca's was ridiculous,
beautiful.
So,
but
wow,
yes, we're really excited about that. Hopefully, moving in there later this year.
You just said another company, Annie Ann's.
Yeah, so Rise is kind of the sister company of Rise. Chestnut Land Company. We're a franchisee for Annie Ann's Pretzels. We started 27 years ago now. Kind of got in on the ground floor with their franchising and up to I think 90 stores now scattered around the East. So that's where it's nice with a lot of synergies there with the Rise operation. So their team headed up by Chris Sammartino and Leo Henry and their team, if you know them. but they do a great job with it. With those
wow.
two.
So yeah, that's crazy. You guys got so what? Any other companies we got?
Well,
We're talking about
this place, the Lake Club. I'm not involved in all other than eating there and playing bocce and golf occasionally, but they do a great job out there also.
We looked at a corporate membership. It's always in the back of my mind to grab that corporate membership and grab all. But I just know if we get that corporate membership, my business card for the mortgage thing, like with O'Keel and Isaac going there, it will be $3,000 a month.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
It would be the bar bill will be so high.
They're like casino chips. You don't notice them going out as much. You know,
right.
So it's too easy to run up a bill.
See, but that's the thing. These guys are gonna freaking it'll be more than our freaking it'll be more than our yearly expenses at that place.
Me and O'Keel took some clients to the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Potential clients to the Lake Club.
Yeah.
There is no way. No way. All right. So then so we got all the so then tell us about Southwoods. Let's that is like a staple at this point in our valley. I mean, everybody goes to Southwood anymore.
It's really it's a crazy story dating back to the early 90s where my dad and his best friend, Dr. Lou Liris, Uncle Lou, I call him, he did a lot of work at St. E's downtown. And my dad would keep hearing, offhand from Uncle Lou, like, oh, man, my patient got their car broken into. It's just not a good experience. You ever consider doing something medicine-wise? And so they started to look at the process, and you had to get what was called a certificate of need. So they literally lobbied down in Columbus for close to a year because, the hospitals obviously didn't like it because it would be competition. All the way up to the government level in Columbus. And but they got the certificate of need and opened as an outpatient surgery center in 1996, June 6th of 96. We just celebrated our 25th anniversary. And it's grown ever since. Did a big expansion back in 2004. Kind of doubled the size of it. And then with Obamacare kind of coming in 2009, we're almost half physician-owned. So there were certain restrictions on physician-owned hospitals that were going to take effect under Obamacare. So in order to be grandfathered in with that, we had to build what we wanted on as a full hospital by 2010, and we did. So we did a big expansion in 2009 to expand to a full hospital. So, we do pretty much everything, total knees, total hips, all that kind of endoscopies, basically anything you can think of except delivering babies and heart surgery. And who knows, maybe in the future we could do that too.
I have had 2 knee surgeries there, Isaac.
Have you?
I have 2 knee surgeries. And the thing that amazes me the most about this place is how nice everybody is. That's why I like going there.
That's what Eddie said.
Yeah, you walk in. Hello, sir. What's your name? Oh, don't worry. Right this way. Oh, here's a thing for food. It's like it makes you feel very welcoming, and you guys have to train that, right, Eddie?
It's that culture is ingrained from day one with people. Obviously we give good medical care, but a lot of places give good medical care. You have to differentiate yourself beyond that. So we've really tried to take a lot of pride in the patient care aspect and the hospitality aspect of it. To really make it a good experience. Because, it's a very scary experience for a lot of people that have surgeries. You have to make them feel as at ease as possible. So, with that, and then also the employed physician group that I work with, close to 100 strong now with doctors, or over 100 strong now with doctors and extenders. We try and extend the culture into those offices too, to really stress the patient care aspect.
You ever have anything there, Isaac?
Nothing, man. I know my knees are on borrowed time.
You will.
We have horrible knees, and I run a lot, and they're going. I'm telling you.
Yeah, we had Maggie had a surgery there, and that was when I was there waiting for her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they give you like a free little meal card while you're waiting. At least they did. I mean, this is, you know what I mean? And you go get lunch, and then I was sitting there, and it was just, like I said,
it's like, this is a big boy. He looks like he could eat some food.
Let's keep this guy happy.
Happy.
And the other thing I like too, and this is always huge, is they give you like a survey card after you leave, and you rate everything.
And I see this firsthand. My dad reads every one of those every Sunday morning.
Really?
Every single one of them. And then in our meeting midweek, we meet every week. if there's ever an issue, he brings it up and we talk about it. So anybody that fills those out, they are read and they are addressed.
Really?
That's the pulse of the place. That's how you hear from people and know what's going on. So those are very important. And then what you mentioned with the lunch, those little touches, it's amazing. For something as complicated as a surgery, you'd be amazed how much we hear about how clean the floors are or getting a lunch to take home. It's those little touches that really make a difference.
100%. And you don't get that at the other places. That is, especially the place downtown. And you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to say anything too bad about it because Lord knows we'll get I'll be down there and be
exactly.
like, hey, I'll be like on the table and be like, we heard what you said.
Yeah, exactly. EJ Scalota says hernia surgery and a hand wave. Like he's had surgery there before.
Nice.
Let's take some comments real quick. Southwoods Health was the nicest facility I've ever worked at.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Mama Sue.
Yep. Sue Yoakley.
Mama Yoakley said it. Mama Yoakley.
Great to hear that.
Eddie, here's one. Jane, do the Jane one. Jane, hi, Eddie. Now you need to talk D into being on the show to talk about Ivory Birch. We can do that.
Absolutely.
I agree, Jane. I think she should be next.
And it would be an honor to have on Big Ed as well.
Oh, yeah.
I actually called him and I called his assistant.
Tell them the story, Isaac.
And she was definitely a nice lady, but she was a guard dog. She's like, hi, miss.
Oh, that's Pam, I'm sure. She's been with us. She was my grandfather's secretary dating back to 1979 and then became my dad's, I think, like in 1986. And she's been his right hand ever since. He always says, the day she retires, I'm retiring the next day because she really is his right arm. And actually,
what's her name?
Pam Lupo. And actually, at our Southwoods 25th anniversary party last weekend, she got a standing ovation when my dad entered.
Wow.
Yeah.
Along with Docs and everybody, she's revered. So, yeah.
Yeah, I called and I really laid on like the son, like our grandson charm, like the hi Pam, can I call you Pam? Can I call you Pam? It's like, hey, me and my brother, we do this local podcast, and she's like, I'm like, we'd love to have Ed Muransky on. It'd be great to talk to the community, and we love you guys. And she's like, okay, yeah, we'll check you out, and then I'll let him know. And I was like, okay,
all right. We'll have to re-engage those discussions.
All right, you gotta get it. So we'll just have the whole Muransky family.
Yeah.
Let's just go through the ranks. I was like, we can have a show. Ivory and Birch. You got a writer in California.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Big Ed. We'll get the kids, and then we'll get Big Ed.
We could have a Meet the Muransky Family podcast. We could have them all on.
Like when they have all the judges on the Tonight Show or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. My mom's more interesting than any of us, though. Also, I neglected to mention her, but she's hilarious. Also,
I'm all on. I'll have everybody on.
Just the entire family. One podcast. That'd be great.
All right. So we got now we got to talk. For those of you watching here, we got to talk. Poland. Let's talk about Poland a little. So we got the business. We got the business stuff. I was looking at my list here that I wanted to bring up. We talked about that. Poland. You made quite an impression at the school board meeting, and it was kind of. And like I said, I know I've seen you at parties. We know the name, and it was like all of a sudden you started talking, and Isaac and I are like, "Who the hell is this guy talking?" Like, we're like, "Where did this guy?" We're like, "Where did
way
this
too
guy come
professional."
from?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So what triggered that? And let's go ahead.
No, so a couple years ago. Now, as I said, I moved back in 2012. But with my wife and I starting a family, our son's 14 months old now. In the last probably 2 years, I started to pay a little closer attention to the schools because thinking I'd want to send my son there someday. And obviously, I went to Poland as a young kid in grade school. My sisters graduated from there. I know it was great then, but I kept hearing around town, Poland schools are in decline. And I'm like, I wanted to really get to the bottom. I didn't want to take that at face value. So I started doing more research. I probably should have done some sooner. But, for the most part, I found that things are still, the teachers are great. The family, your wife being one of them, the families are great. We're ranked high. We're the #1 high school in the Youngstown area, number 42 in Ohio. There's still a lot going for us. But the 7th and 8th grade moving to the high school thing, when I heard about that, it just didn't sit right with me. Because I remember, even going into 9th grade, how hard that was in school with adults. And I said, you're kind of doubling down now and putting 7th graders in there. So I didn't like it in the first place, but then, Katie Courtney, the custodian over at Union, she did a great speech in April.
Wonderful job.
Yeah, she was great. And I said, after I heard her, I should go talk too. And then once I also saw the plan for 7th and 8th grade when they would move in, I assumed they'd be separated more, but all the science and elective rooms are going to be shared in the high school, which, that's like, 40% of your day. So I just thought, like, if you have to do that, you're really going to be mixing those grade levels. And I wasn't a fan of that. So I kind of just wanted to go give some data and, kind of re-engage the discussions. And the data that I talked about was just how few schools in Ohio of our academic stature and size have made this move. So, that's why I wanted to talk about it. But, to the board's credit, Mr. Riddle, the board president, called me, I think, a day or two later. We talked for 15 minutes. And
awesome.
He kind of stated there, really nice guy. And he really he goes, I totally understand what you're saying, but here's why we're doing it. And I really appreciated that explanation from him. But, that was kind of the impetus for it in the first place.
The school board, we give them a hard time with some of their decisions. We really do. Mm-hmm. And since we started pushing, they have become way more open towards us. Like, they'll text us if something's coming. And they're
great once they are. I really think any problems are more communication related than anything.
Exactly.
I think they're all
100% correct.
But I think just the communication, because I wanted to tell Mr. Riddle, if me and you had this conversation and everybody heard it at the board meeting, I think even if you still disagreed on 7th and 8th grade, like I did, you'd at least totally understand where the board was coming from. So
the problem is, in my opinion, you just said it right there, Eddie. You have decisions being made. So they vote on something, you see the decision being made, but no one explains why.
Yeah.
There is never, ever an explanation why the board, and they're going to get into all these things. Yeah. Well, only the board, the board as a whole, you can't have an individual, but bull crap. You come up with a written thing and you explain to us why. Yeah. That is the whole purpose of us hammering these guys with podcasts. And we emailed them saying, dude, use us. Come on our show. Yes, but they won't do it. And it's so frustrating.
It's like the old school way of, we don't need to explain it because we're the board and this is what we're going to do. But if, like you said, Eddie, if they just had that conversation, went live on Facebook, it's easy as that, and just explain why they made their decisions and said, this is why we're doing it. And that's that. That's better than just doing it and then not explaining anything and people thinking you're stupid, Yeah.
That's why we elect them. We don't want to micromanage their decisions, but it would just be nice to hear why. And I just think that would make a big difference.
I posted a couple times. You're not on You're not on Facebook. Can we talk about that?
I know. I joined Facebook the first year it existed. I think in 2004 or 5 something. Michigan was like the 10th or 15th school to join, whatever it was. So I really loved it for a while, but man, as COVID started, it really started to get toxic. A lot of topics.
Really.
I could be spending my time in better ways.
With a capital T.
We'll out a return someday, but for now I'm off.
Isaac. So COVID starts. We start right here, right? Right. Follow it here. Eddie quits because it's toxic, and this is us slowly going up with the toxic level.
Yeah. No, you're you guys. You have great, honest discussions. That's what we need.
See, and the problem is with that, though, Eddie, a lot of people don't like honesty. They don't like honest discussion. We piss so many people off because we are honest and we are forward. Is that a good word, Isaac?
Yes, and that's today's society. It's so interesting how people react to it. They're like, cool with us, and then they disagree on something we disagree
those guys,
and then they we hate those guys. Just because we disagree on something, all of a sudden you've agreed with us all along, and now you hate us because it's okay that you disagree with us. We can still be cool.
People agree on everything. That's healthy.
All the time. We say something that people don't agree with, and it is like they block us, they kick us out. I can't. They're like, they don't talk to my wife anymore, and I'm like, Maggie, screw those people. It is unbelievable. Yeah. So that's why we came up with that waiver. But what are you going to do? So, all right. Anyways, back to the school board. Yeah. Somebody said something here, and this is what I kind of wanted to ask. Hold on a second. Let's see
Yeah, you got a lot
here.
of comments coming in. We gotta.
Okay, I have to do a Facebook Live for I and B Dibs. Ivory Merch. Let me know when to start making Eddie for School Board tees to sell at Ivory Merch. When's that happening?
I'd like to do that someday. I think I could help out, but I was thinking maybe probably 2 years from now. I'm still kind of new to researching this, and I don't know whether Dr. Donopoulos and Mr. Riddle are running again. But for now, I think 2 years makes more sense. I'd like to learn a little more before I try to do that.
I respect that. I
like that.
I would run for school board, but I was told if I run for school board, I'll have to pay child support payments.
Your wife will divorce you.
I will be divorced.
I would never want that job. I'd rather just stay on the outskirts.
Oh yeah, it's a thankless job. It really, and that's why I try and have I really try and understand, even if I disagree with what they're doing. But yeah, I just think if they get the word out more and why they're doing, like the 7th and 8th grade being an example. Mr. Riddle explained to me on the phone, like, I know what you're saying, but believe it or not, this really does open up a lot of academic opportunities for advanced algebra and things like that for middle schoolers. The money it could save us could lead to a lot of great things with hires and stuff like that. So if they just laid that out, I just think that.
Why don't they say that though, Eddie? That's what I want to know. Why? Like I've researched this. Other school boards have like Friday morning they'll have like a YouTube presentation where they make a presentation. And it's like a news show where they go over all the decisions that were made, like a school board member, and they say, "This is why we made this decision." This is, it's like. Yeah. Why can't you do that?
Because they've never done it that way, Luke, and they don't think they have to ever change anything because that's the old way. It's just how it's always been in Poland, I'm sure.
And I just think there's kind of a friction in the community about that, and I really hope we can start to break that down soon and just talk more. But I think they're starting to head. And Mr. Hockenberry, the new superintendent, I don't know if you have met him yet. He's awesome. I think he was a great hire, and he's really all about. He's holding a lot of small groups, meetings in small groups with 10 or 20 parents, and
he wants to meet and have coffee with us. He wants to meet and have coffee with us. We asked him to come on the podcast, and he's like, he wrote a very well written email, basically. Yeah, guys, I can't come on your stupid podcast, but we can meet and have coffee.
I would recommend you do that. He was great, and I think he's going to do some good things. I like Mr. Janafe too. So I thought and it got really nasty when he left, and it was unfortunate to see some of the back and forth there. But I think he'll do a great job.
I liked Mr. Janafe. I did not have a problem. People disagreed with what he was doing, and the people who are unhappy now are a lot of the people who wanted to get rid of Mr. Janafe. So, and I've said this from the very beginning, you are reaping what you sow now, people. So just remember that. Okay? Because honestly, some of the people who wanted him out are some of the very unhappy people. So, all right, let's see here. What do we got, Isaac? Go through some of the comments, man.
Here's an awesome one. Tony Collis says, can we all agree 2 out of 3 of you have great haircuts?
My hair is fantastic.
Yeah. Tony put me up a couple of weeks ago, or his shop did. So yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah,
I got mine yesterday, today actually. I just got a haircut.
Why don't you go to Tony for haircuts, Isaac?
Tony, I got a guy. I mean, maybe we'll try a trial run, but I got a guy who I've been using for a couple of years now. That's my boy.
Look, I got one. This family brings high quality businesses to this area, sets a standard for all businesses to rise up to. There you go, Matthew Modine.
Thank you, Matthew.
Let me guess, he does your taxes.
No.
Oh, no, I struck out.
I know they do a great job, but no, they do not.
There you go.
Bill Ramirez says this is a great place to work. I think we were talking about Southwoods.
Could you, Isaac, being loan officers, could you imagine the Muransky's tax returns?
Oh God!
Could you imagine how many schedules he'd have?
Yeah. Oh man.
Like with all the business, like trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do it. I'd be like, you know what? Go somewhere else. I don't want to do it. Sorry. After being a loan officer, that's just like self-employed borrowers are always like, oh my God, self-employed borrower. And then like with all those businesses, it's gotta be like that. It's gonna be a stack.
I'm sure they'd be fine.
Sorry. Go ahead, continue.
all in on that. Dorian Muransky, all in on that. What were we talking about?
That's the school board.
Stephanie, I talked to her at the meeting. She's great.
Yes, she's awesome.
Yeah. Her mom was my home ec teacher at Canfield in 6th grade. So
really?
I'm great, yeah.
Stephanie, did your mom's classroom have good feng shui? That's the point of the strategic plan is communication.
I want love. People, but people don't read that stuff, Stephanie. They I know I've had it emailed to me. No, it is 2021. You need to come online and you need to discuss it and you need to have videos and people will pay attention.
Well, I was a good example of that with 7th and 8th grade. I never knew that. I should have. I probably should have invested, but I never knew that change was on the table. I know they talked to people, but by the time this move was going to happen, I think a lot of people didn't even know about it in the first place. And like Katie said, a lot's changed since then. Our numbers started to creep up a little more.
Well, the problem is, though, Eddie, so what ends up happening, I think, is people are like, they see it then when the decision, whoa, why they're trying to sneak this in on us. I didn't know about it. And it happens every freaking decision. And I think us going live for these meetings is kind of like people are like, okay, wait, we kind of know what's going on now.
And their agendas are like minimum amount of information. It's like the old school way of management. Only give as much as they need to know. Everything else we'll deal with it when we get there. But just a minimum amount of information so they can't make a fuss about it.
Yeah.
People interpret that as intentionally withholding information.
Yeah. I don't think that's what they're doing, but people just take it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got, Isaac?
Brandon says, no comparison in Poland and the district I live in. We are a similar district. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade are on the junior high side, share same cafeteria. I think he's talking about the school system setup. But didn't you say, aren't you saying that they're going to share like classrooms too, though? Yeah, that's why all the science classrooms and all the elective, because and that's understandable. They don't want to go plumb new science labs. I get it. And make new, art studios and stuff like that. But what Brandon's saying, it makes a great point. When I did my research for that meeting, I didn't know how many other schools did this. And a lot of them, like half the schools locally, do have 7th and 8th grade combined with high school. But I think it was something like 16 out of 22 of them had less than half the enrollment of Poland. And I just think that, that's a different story there. When, you're 50 or 60 kids a class, it's a lot easier to separate the grade levels.
Yeah. I agree with this. Look, EJ says no one can agree to disagree and still be cordial. 100%.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened during the election. Like with the presidential election, you could not. And COVID, it kept going with COVID, like the no mask thing. You cannot, people cannot take opposite opinions. It's ridiculous.
Well, Eddie, what's your family like in terms of arguing? Like, are you guys all screaming at each other, and then you guys decide, okay, we're going to sit down and have dinner and be a family? Because that's our family. Our family is
close to that. I wouldn't say screaming. Very animated discussions, but
animated discussions.
Yeah,
exactly.
But we'll argue our position and things. All of us, kind of have different ones on various issues. But it's just fun. But I guess that's my whole point with all this. It's such an important part of many different subjects to be able to toss ideas around like that. That's how you learn something. You might not agree with the person, but you hear where they're coming from, and you could have more informed opinions that way.
Yep.
Our dad says, "Ed, they are obnoxious like their father." That's our father, by the way, right there. If not me, who? It's Stephanie. Don't start with this. Here
Classic
she goes again.
Stephanie.
Here she goes. And then she says, strategic plan eliminates personal agendas and explains the decisions being made. Canfield has one for years. I know what they do, but they're just so annotated. They're just no one's going to read them, Stephanie. Okay, we need movies. We need videos. That's what we need. That's what people need. We need TikTok videos from the school board members. That's what we need.
And that was, with 7th and 8th grade, because like I said, we know why they're doing this. It saves a lot of money to close a school.
100%.
I just wish we would have seen more of a discussion on just how much that saves. I'm guessing it's in the hundreds of thousands a year.
A ton, yeah.
If not more. So, I think if people heard that and, saw, hey, that money could help us hire 3 more teachers or hire 1 more administrator, I think it would make a little more sense.
One, look, Stephanie's begging for help. Eddie, help me out here. Somebody, Isaac, by the way, so with Stephanie, somebody suggested, did you hear this, Isaac? We have Stephanie on and like we do a morning show with Stephanie. Like
waking up with Stephanie?
Somebody said it's just the two of us when we do our morning stuff, and we need a third person, like a radio show where you have two guys and then you have like the with totally opposite opinion of us most of the time.
I don't think Stephanie disagrees with us a lot of the time. I really don't. I think
she's very well informed on all this stuff. I remember she was brought up some issues her husband found like on the facility, and that's honestly at the end of the day with Poland schools, I think the facilities are the biggest thing holding us back. And I know the two of you have touched on it with these levies. Some of us might want something in the village, some of us might want a K-12 campus, but I think people are letting those preferences get in the way of the main issue that we need something to go forward.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I'd rather
I'd
rather think of something out in the village, but I'm not going to vote no on a levy because of it.
That's the problem.
And that's a huge problem. That's a huge problem is we cannot let our disagreements about what happens with the schools stop those levies from passing because it's doing nothing but hurting the kids. And taking the we're not going to, just because we disagree, I'm not voting on the next levy. That is not the way to handle it. That is not the way to handle it. And a lot of people in Poland have been doing that, or I've been doing that.
No, there was a lady I don't know if it was at his school board. No, I think it was a later one. An older lady got up there when they were going to move. They were discussing moving the Mahoning school into the building. And she said, and this is the problem. It was such a perfect example. She just straight up to the school board, if you do this, me and my neighbors are not voting for another school levy.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it shouldn't be a weapon like that.
Yeah. It shouldn't, but people do it and it just pisses me off. And it's like, I told Isaac, I want to talk to this lady and be like, do you understand how you sound like a little kid that's not getting his way, and you're going to take your ball and go home because
it's not hurting. It's not attacking the school board. It's attacking the kids that have these awful buildings that they're going to school in that are falling apart. So
the other thing I don't like to hear is that like people don't care as much when their kids aren't in school anymore. That's not how a community works. It's all some people do need the school, just like some people need police, fire, all that stuff. And I'd like to see a better discussion there. But Bob Hannon, who you guys had on, I think, a month or two ago, a good friend of mine. Yep. He worked on the committee for the last levy, I think, in 2015 to get the word out there. And they did a great job. They really explained it all. But his research kind of showed him that levy was almost dead on arrival because you had a lot of people that just weren't voting for a levy. So whenever that next time is that they do, and I'm guessing, 3-4 years from now, I think they have to do a lot of market research around here to see what kind of levy has a good chance of passing. Because we got to do something. Whether it's a big renovation or a new school, something's got to move in the next 5 years.
Yeah. When you just said it right there, Eddie, when a school board presents a levy, there should be like a new levy. They should have so much research done. There should be almost not a doubt that it's going to pass. That is, and that's the same thing that we talked to the guy, Jeremy from Firestone Farms, and he got the liquor license out there. He said, we had so much research done. We knew it was going to pass. And it's like, that's what has to be done. And I don't think I wasn't really paying attention back then. And I know I voted for it.
Been, but I wasn't.
Yeah, it was just,
I think I voted for it. If I voted that year, I would have voted for it, but I don't remember it very well.
Right. So this is, it's definitely interesting. Look, always vote yes for the school levy. It helps more than just the school.
Absolutely.
I look at
property values, if nothing else. Yeah.
From a loan officer point of view, it's an investment. You are making investment. If your school is shit, excuse my language, your property value is going to go to crap, and then you're going to sell your house for less. If you invest in the schools, regardless of if your kids go there, if you're 100 years old, you are going to then get more money, or when you die and your kids sell the house, you're going to get more money, right? I mean, that's it. Yeah. It's straight math, and people don't break it down.
Most even big levies are average of probably $500-600 a year per house. So you add that up over 10 years, you only have to go get another 10 grand on your house to to make a profit off of it. And I think a good school district easily trumps that.
Stephanie says they did the research. It was not provided to the community.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry. This year, Stephanie, next time they're going to provide it. We promise you.
Eddie, how do you feel about Airbnbs in our community?
Oh, wow. I've never thought of that. Like, is there a rule against them right now? I don't know how.
Eddie doesn't know about it.
You didn't hear about the Airbnb.
No.
Oh, go ahead, Luke. You can start it.
Oh, this is fantastic.
I'm curious now.
Where do you live at in Poland?
I'm over in the Four Seasons.
Okay, so you're in the township.
Yeah, kind of by the high school. Yeah.
Yeah, Four Seasons. That's over there. Yeah,
yeah,
that's like right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Chardonnay. Yeah, you probably hear me. You probably hear me yelling at my kids.
Yeah.
So there was a person bought a house in the village. It had an indoor swimming pool.
Oh,
last year during Corona, during the virus. Yeah.
COVID hit, and they couldn't move out of their house. So they said, okay, instead of renting it, because we don't want long-term renters in there, we're going to do an Airbnb. It has an indoor swimming pool. It does all this.
Mm-hmm.
The village, all the people on that, the people that lived in that area went freaking bonkers, right? And the village issues a cease and desist order the day before the first renter goes in.
Wow.
Dropped off the cease and desist letter, not mailed like they normally do, dropped off by a police officer while the dude's getting the house ready, saying you are not allowed to have an Airbnb here because of the zoning rules.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I was going to say, how can you do that with private property? But but like Airbnbs aren't zoned as hotels. That's honestly, Airbnb
they
and
had
Uber,
nothing on record.
But no, Airbnb and Uber, the laws I think are still very fluid with between insurance and all that stuff. It's such a big part of our economy now. But there's all kinds of issues just like this one, I think, that are.
Oh, well, they called us. The people who bought the house called us, and we had them on our show.
Oh, okay.
If you ever get a chance, go back into YouTube. You'll find it.
Yeah,
it was like April last. There were some of the best.
Yeah.
There were some of the best podcasts. Like we had like 200 people watching at one time. Like because
Airbnbs.
we had about the Airbnbs. And my whole thing was, so what they ended up doing was they give the guy a cease and desist order. They go the next meeting. They give them what was it called, Isaac? What was the word?
Moratorium.
A moratorium. Eddie's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Moratorium. We'll make this decision within the next year, but you're not allowed to have anybody in the Airbnb as a customer until we make our decision.
Wow. How's that different from renting a house out to somebody though, like on a private contract? Like I don't see that.
You tell us, Ed.
Yeah, I don't know.
You tell us. So we were going at like I had Isaac and I, and again, I don't care if there's an Airbnb in Poland, Ohio. It doesn't, I felt bad for those people, but the way the village went after those people with a cop dropping off a letter and then a moratorium, stopping it for a year. I was so freaking pissed off the way they went at it. I mean, boy, I'm surprised Jay, the village lawyer, didn't send me a cease and desist letter.
And here's the thing. We have heard, so they say moratorium. What we're going to do is we're doing it because we want to just wait to make our decision. We need to do research. We need to decide what we're going to do. But it could take up to a year to make this decision. And we haven't heard from them about it since. So who knows? I
don't think they're ever going to make a decision on it.
They're waiting for it to cool off, and then they can make their decision. And hopefully nobody pays attention when they finally make their decision to not have them. But
yeah. Well, with the village, I mean, I haven't done enough research to have a really informed opinion on it. But, whenever I go to, Chagrin Falls or Hudson for dinner with my wife, I love it up there. Love the atmosphere and everything. And every time I come back here, I'm like, we have every bit of the beauty that those towns do. And I just think there's a lot of untapped potential in the village. And I think that mentality, I get where they're coming from, but I think that kind of combative mentality has held us back. And then particularly with restaurants and liquor, how that's just been a hard no, where, you know, we don't have to become a bar district, but like Isaac's famous riffraff comment.
There's another one.
A couple places, you could even close them at 10 p.m. if you want to, but I think a couple, you know, nicer restaurants in the village would do awesome and really bring a lot of atmosphere there.
I'll tell you what we need, Eddie. We need somebody with restaurant experience and a good backing, maybe in a law degree that can maneuver that area. And
maybe
then,
somebody who's like owned a club or something.
You know, if liquor were on the table, I'm sure we would take a look at it. And, you know, it is. My dad and I and my brother-in-law were down in Aiken, South Carolina around Easter time. And they have a nice downtown there. And we were in a restaurant that had like 50 seats in it. It had like a nice 10-seat wooden bar, a lot of bourbons and wines around it. And we just looked at each other. We're like, this would be perfect in Poland Village, just like a real classy place. So I really hope they explore. And from what I understand at the Village, they are starting to explore that more. And I really hope that happens.
And we've had guests on that, like Penguin City Beer. Breweries are like proven statistically to improve property value in the area. Like breweries are proven. Like just look at Birdfish in Columbiana, for example. Yep. Like they, you know, built up Columbiana off of that brewery. So
you could do a brewery, like a nice brewery, and you could do a nice restaurant, like close to it in that vicinity, and you are talking moneymaker in Florida because you wouldn't be nowhere.
It'd be a month wait for a table if you had two places like that. And I think other places, ice cream and, you know, retail and stuff like that would follow around it.
Eddie, I'm going to tell you, this is a secret. No, it's not a secret because Latanzio told us this. There are 3 or 4 liquor licenses available in the Village. Mm-hmm. And I think Latanzio was kind of hinting at if a business went after him, there's not much the Village could do to stop it. Remember that conversation, Isaac?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, Ed, I think this is an opportunity for the Muransky family to put in the Muransky brewery, maybe, or I don't know.
You know, even with Rise, you know, we've talked about, you know, kind of a different concept, you know, more of a wine bar type of thing, kind of like, so we would definitely consider it if that was on the table. And like I said, I don't want it to become a 2 a.m. bar district. I don't think very few people in Poland would want that. I think it'd be very easy to control, though, if you just had it close at 10. And you have parking there at the schools after hours. You could do valet parking. I think a lot of potential there.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, see, we're good. See, Isaac, we're making it. We're feeding him. We're feeding him info.
What village? One of the village council members said that they will never have alcohol in the village ever. Stood his ground and said they will never, ever, as long as he's in council, there will never be alcohol, a bar in the village.
Well, doesn't that gas station have it? If you want to get technical, doesn't that Sunoco station?
Yeah,
have it already?
I just got 3 cases of beer at the gas station today for my bachelor party.
Not that far from there,
yes.
Isaac, did you walk out of the gas station, like drink a chug of beer, and like throw it on the ground and get in your car?
Yeah. Point a truck cop office across the drive.
Point a truck cop and get in your car and drive off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you guys, I really think. Oh, sorry. I really think this discussion about the Village ties in with the schools because I think the school's presence in the Village is the most hot button issue, and I love the Village too. I don't want to see the schools leave there, but I really think if you had other stuff in the Village, it might soften the blow of if the schools ever did have to leave the Village. Because, you know, if you go, like I said, Chagrin Falls and Hudson, those schools aren't right in the Village or right in the downtown.
You know, and we had a special podcast on this a while ago in the morning where we said, you know, there's always going to be the Village and the township. It's, you know, it's always, what annoys me is like those guys, these guys, that stuff. It's like we're all Poland, we're all the same school. Yeah. It's I can jog and I don't jog to the Village. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like we're a separate town. Like if a school comes out here, good. Let's, like you said, let's put some different stuff in there. Let's put a community center down in North. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think there's, you know, a lot you could do there. And like I said, I think I'd love to see a brand new renovated K-8 school where you kept the brick shell, the middle school, because it's so pretty. But yeah, I realize that might not be practical. So I hope people are open-minded on that kind of stuff as the years go.
Well, wasn't it
Cuyahoga Falls or one of those schools up in Cleveland ended up doing that. The community refused to get rid of the old school, and they just renovated the old school completely, and were forced to renovate it completely. And I mean, I don't know if that's possible or not, but
you can. Well, it's possible. You need money though. You're gonna have to have a levy. You're gonna have to have a levy either way.
It'd probably be way more expensive than a new school, but if the village is a deal breaker for people, maybe that's the levy you can pass, even if it's more expensive.
Exactly.
The school there.
For sure. Well, this is all good stuff. Isaac, did you see that when I dropped that?
Yeah, Zuckerberg in the corner there.
Anybody watching, could you please do us a favor and go over and follow us on Facebook, the MLO Bros. Eddie's not on Facebook. God bless you, sir. No, dude, just stay off. Just the best decision you've ever made. But go like Rise Pise. Go like Southwoods. I saw that. They have a thing, right? And the sisters, Ivory and Birch, right? We can do that too.
On Instagram too, I'm all on there.
You're on Instagram?
I am not. No, that's all the businesses are.
Do you have any social media?
I kind of lurk on Twitter when I want to read sports and news stuff. But that's about it. My wife has Instagram, so she does that, and she'll pass along stuff from time to time. But yeah, that's I'm pretty much out.
What would we do if we didn't have Facebook? I'd be so bored.
Yeah, it'd be healthier for all of us.
I'd have to hang out with my kids.
Oh, gosh.
That sounds terrible.
Brent,
go ahead.
Brent Barr says, hold on. Brent Barr says, Isaac, the steaks are marinating for your bachelor party now. See you tomorrow.
What are you doing? Wow. What are you doing tomorrow night? You want to come to a bachelor party, Eddie?
You want to go to Put in Bay?
I would, if I could refer you over. If you could get me, if you could get me the release for the night, I would love to join you. But I think I'm on childcare duty tomorrow night.
Oh no!
I'll have to congratulate you from afar.
Well, I don't know. Borrow a friend's Facebook page because we're still trying to figure out. Anytime Isaac says, Isaac, this is the game we're gonna play. Anytime you tell me, Luke, go live, I'm gonna go live on Facebook.
Well, what I think we could do that would be even like I said, if we just took videos so that we didn't have to go live all the time, because we could say something stupid live while we're drunk. But if we have video, we can edit it. If we have video, we can edit it. So you just make a short clip after every shot I do, and then it's just you can see the slow.
Yeah, I'm going live.
That's spiral.
Just drink water would be my only advice. Drink water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Eddie, you're a good dad. See?
Thank you.
Well, I abandoned my wife with 3 of our boys, 10, 6, and 2, or 3. Hell of a show, fellas. Thank you, Eddie, and your family for bringing jobs to the Valley and in different industries. There you go, man.
Yep.
I agree. I mean, if you think about how many people does Southwoods employ, do you know that?
Man, I think it's
got to be huge.
I think it's pushing, it's several hundred. But yeah, I think for all our companies, it's close to 1,000.
Wow. See, that's huge. I mean, it's huge. Let's see here. Great show, guys. Joe, look at Isaac.
Hi, Joe.
Joe's from Youngstown Studio. Have you ever heard of that, Eddie?
Oh, no, I have not.
Youngstown Studio. They do podcasts out of there. We actually went live out of his studio last week on Tuesday.
Oh, cool.
Super, super nice and like way better than what we have right now. And he's trying to get us to go live out of his show all the time. He's nice. whining and dining us.
Yep.
I think Isaac should go live though. Yeah, just make sure you put some water in there. That's I did not do that enough at mine.
Lots of water. I'll try. I'm sure they won't let me.
You know, it's you say that though before you get drunk. You say that, and then you never do it, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, "Gosh, darn it!"
I'm pretty good at it, and I'm pretty good at like when you get back from wherever the bars, whatever, to like drink like 3 or 4 water bottles or whatever. Just chug a lot of water, and then you have to do that. If you don't do that
before you go to bed,
but I think I'm going to take the approach of. Everybody's going to be handing me drinks the entire night. Like, hey, Isaac, here's a drink. Hey, Isaac, here's a drink. I'm just never actually going to go get a drink myself so that I don't have to worry about, like, the extra alcohol. You know what I mean?
Strategy.
That's my strategy. I'm just going to hang out until someone gives me a drink that, and wait for somebody else to get it. Never get one myself. That's the plan.
Well, we don't want to. Is the baby sleeping?
He is, yeah. He was out at like a little after 7. So,
well, Eddie, we appreciate you coming on, man.
This is a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Any other topics? Anything
No.
else?
I think we covered
Plans?
most of it. I just, like I said, I hope Poland kind of can just come together more in the next few years and continue to have these discussions, because we really have a lot going for us. And I think both schools, village, township, everything, that we could just continue to grow.
We will definitely have you on again as we talk to Poland stuff and as we keep going, because it's good to, like I said, what's interesting is you have a business background, you have a law background, so that's actually very good stuff to have.
Thank you.
For the city stuff, for the town, the village, and the school board stuff. So,
and
we will. Oh, go ahead, Isaac.
Eddie, Luke, you have Eddie's number.
I would say, will you text me your sister's phone number?
Well, that and also let's chat soon about the Rise Pies. We'd love to go over there.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. We'll get you in there to make pizzas and great.
Let's maybe. I mean, I'll do it whenever I do it next during the school day or during the work day when I'm supposed to be working is the best time for us to do that, because we don't really ever go to our real jobs. So, all right, Eddie, we have to. I don't know. We didn't tell Eddie this, did we? We forgot to word him that we kick everybody off of our show.
No, Eddie. So what?
I'm sorry, Eddie.
What's a typical day for you, like, Eddie? What's a typical day? Like you wake up in the morning. What do you go? Do you start work from home? What's the plan? What do you do?
No, I work better in an office, so I just go that way.
Whoops.
You just kicked me off. Wait,
I kicked the wrong one off. Eddie,
we kick all of our ads off, Eddie.
Oh, no. Okay.
So, Ed, what do you like? Have you been on any other podcast before?
I
didn't know what else to do.
See, we need to just kick them off, and then when they text you or me and are like, "Hey, I lost you. What happened?" Just be like, "Yeah, that's our thing. See ya." We need to get smoother about it.
What's his name when the Francos, the Renaissance, they kept trying to log back on because they didn't know we. Dude, he is like smart dude.
Very smart. That entire family is obviously very, very smart.
We're going to try and go through all the Muransky kids, and then we're going to get Big Ed on.
Man, I'll tell you what. When I met that guy's intimidating. You want to meet somebody intimidating? That guy is intimidating. Like,
because he's
huge. He's huge. He always dresses really nice. He had like a big trench coat on. He had like a guy walking with him that I just assumed was his giant bodyguard. Like, it was very intimidating.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I just remember going back into my office and my boss was like, "Who the heck was that guy?" That guy was like, the way he carried himself. He's like, "That was Ed Muransky, owner of all of Southwoods." But
the thing is, though, you meet him, and he's like the super nicest guy. I saw like we've been at birthday parties with Candy, who's Eddie's cousin
or niece or something. Yeah.
Big Ed is like, they had like a ball pit and like all the ball. He's in the ball pit with all these little kids, and they're all hitting. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Hitting. So it was like, I was like, it's like really, 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 really cool. So everybody
Very
remember
cool
our. I have to pack. I haven't packed yet. Remember our. What are the sponsors? Frank, Menchies, Frozen Yogurt, Tim Sticker Fuse, Valley Insurance. Please remember to wear your gear. We at MLO BROS wearing your gear. Mosquito Victory.
Send us your shirts, guys.
If anybody wants to send us shirts, message us. We'd love to wear your shirts. We're going to get a lot of close out of this.
Bar's been set, though, guys. Hanes Ultra Soft by Mosquito. They're very soft. Very soft.
Like,
Bar set.
Look at this. I mean, it looks good. Like,
it's very slimming on you. I like it.
It is. Like, my belly's not quite as big as
it looks great, dude. You look great.
It's very slimming. Let's see here. So Mosquito, make sure you visit them. Talented family. We know we are very talented. The Muranskys aren't bad either. Thanks.
Yeah, they're all right, I guess.
The Schusters are so talented. Like, it's anybody ever.
Like, how do you have someone who writes in LA? You have the lawyer and you have a business owner, and then they own all kinds of companies. Yeah, our family's really cool too, I guess. Like, how do you hold up to that?
You have like the Muranskys and the Schusters.
Yeah. We're loan officers. We have a really cool, popular club. It's really awesome. You should check it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a lawyer. Oh, he owns a company. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a podcast. Thank you very much.
We have a podcast with 23 people watching
right now. Excuse me.
But like that was such a how he
Lord.
said, yeah, law school wasn't that hard. If I was in law school, I would fail faster than like. I mean,
Yes.
man. That would not be good.
100%. All right. So last comment, Mr. Firmstone. I am not going to do it if he pukes. There will be no live videos when you're puking, Isaac. I can promise you that. I'm just thinking like a quick 10-second live, hey, we're at a bar, boom, shots.
See, and that's why we should make a video like of the death spiral of me taking shots, because then you could like at shot 12, I could be like, oh my god, I'm gonna puke, and then you can cut it and go to the next one.
I don't know if I'm gonna remember though, because the problem is we're gonna get too drunk.
Yeah, see, we should have brought Brian and just be like, Brian, you have to film.
We need to give one person one, because I'm never gonna remember that.
Well, Billy's sober, so Billy can film. We could have Billy film.
Yeah, we got to tell him, because as we go down, have Billy do it, because as we go down the spiral, you and I are not going to be able to make any.
I'll just give Billy my phone. I'll just give Billy my phone and say,
hey,
record. We'll tell him the setup, and then I'll be like, Billy, every shot I take, you have to film it.
Billy has to have the film and the golf cart keys, because we are not allowed to have. I cannot have the golf cart keys.
No,
I will drive that SOB right into Lake Erie. Just right off the dock. I don't care.
Person,
and I will give him my credit card and say, "Here's your take it. Go buy a new golf cart.
Your golf cart's broken. It's in the bottom of Lake Erie. Here's
your golf cart. It's broken." All right. Well, that was fun. Everybody, we appreciate it. Next week on the show, we have. Hold on. This is a good one, Isaac. Mark from Bistro. The Mark, I can't say his last name. Mark Conzetti.
The owner of Bistro downtown?
Yes.
Oh, that's
on Tuesday. Cool. Isn't that cool?
That's
and then Thursday, we have Brandon Stafford, Senior Vice President of Nationwide Mortgage, in charge of underwriting.
The bad guys.
So, the bad guys. I mean, the loan officers, like, how many people have ever bought a house or got a home loan and you're like, that mother underwriter this is that guy.
Yeah.
This is that guy. He's really, really cool. Really realized. I kind of want to have him on. I know we try not to do the loan stuff. It's just an interesting take, because I've never seen an underwriter on a podcast in my life.
Yeah.
So it should be very interesting. I want to ask him questions. We'll let all our realtors know that he's coming on. I just think it'll be fun to harass the underwriter. So
Luke, wait till you see what I'm wearing this weekend.
I don't even want to know.
Is
it so good? Is it? How bad is it?
Oh, no, it's not bad.
Is it jorts again?
Just think
80s. Is it 80s?
No. Who's the guy who won the Playboy Mansion?
Hugh Hefner.
Think Hugh Hefner.
Are you wearing like that kind of outfit? Like
I have a kimono.
What the hell's a kimono?
Kimono? What is that? It's one of those Japanese robes.
You're wearing that out of your bachelor party?
Yeah, and my captain hat.
The best one was the best outfit you've ever had is when we went live from Walmart with the Youngstown studio for the draft, and you had Daisy Duke shorts on, and you're asking people to talk to you.
And then we went to Magic Tree, and the guy's like, "You went up to my wife wearing Daisy Dukes and started talking to me," and I was really worried for a while.
What time do you guys? We leave tomorrow. I think we are on the Put in Base shuttle at 1:00 tomorrow.
1:30. Yeah,
1:30. And then on the 29th, we have Zoop coming on.
Zoop? I still don't know what Zoop is.
It's a new restaurant. It's a new restaurant over in Boardman. And then let's see here. The 6th, we have all kinds. Andrew Wingard.
I can't believe you've never had Rise and you live in Youngstown.
The 8th of July, EJ is coming on with his friend. The 13th, we have so many. Greg the Ghost Hunter's coming back on the 13th. We have so many good shows.
EJ, your shirts better be awesome. That's all I'm saying. They better be
Ross. Ross, the pizza guy, is coming. Pizza boy is coming.
I have yet to try it. I can't wait to try it.
Man, we have all kinds of good shows. My gosh, so
Look
awesome.
at us!
All right.
Look at us! Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So, just so you guys know, I bought one prostitute for Isaac. She might have Big Adam's apple. Enjoy, buddy. Thank you, Mike. If she shows up, I will gladly tell her I am getting married. I appreciate her dedication, and
I'm done.
we have nothing against ladies of the night.
Oh God! Good night, everyone. We're ending on it. We'll see you guys all live tomorrow. How about we go live when we're going over on the boat?
Yeah, let's do it. When
We'll
we're
go
on
live.
the ferry.
When we're on the ferry. When we're on the ferry, we'll go live. So that's going to be around 1-ish, 1:30. So make sure you tune into Facebook when we go live. It's going to Facebook.
I'll be wearing my kimono. It'll be great.
We're going to have to really edit our Facebook stuff tomorrow. So, all right, here we go. Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys this weekend. Please forgive us.
Call us for financing if you need it. If you need a home loan, please call us. Home purchase, refi, please call us. We'll take care of you. The MLO Bros will take care of you.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.